I'm Tom Landon. Join me as we learn what it takes to build a community of learning. One of the most telling things about Dr. Robert Sandel, the president of Virginia Western Community College, is just how many people know him not as Dr. Sandel, but as Bobby. Since his arrival in Roanoke in 2001, enrollment has increased dramatically. The college has become a valuable asset to the business community with new programs in health careers, manufacturing, and more. Dr. Sandel recently announced his retirement effective at the end of 24-25 school year. He's graciously joined me today to talk about that decision and what he sees as the future of the college. Welcome to What It Takes.
Thanks, Tom. Glad to be here. My pleasure.
Well, I mean, for those who don't know, it's just a short hop down the road from where you are to where we are, but we appreciate you making the journey. I want to talk to you first for people who might not know. What was your journey to becoming the president of a college as important as Virginia Western?
Well, I started my career, Tom, in South Carolina, and I came up to Virginia in 1992 as president of Mountain Empire Community College out in Wise County. And I was there for 9.5 years, and then Virginia Western opened up in around 2001. And I was always interested in doing more with industry and business, and Roanoke intrigued me because it's a largest metropolitan area with the rural aspects to it also. And it would be a challenge, and we look forward to that. So having the challenge to have more workforce programs, have a larger college, and to be able to do more creative and innovative things intrigued me, and that's what kind of Jane and I both, and we went to Roanoke and visited, and obviously it's a wonderful place, and we're still here. We loved it.
Well, I was reflecting with one of our producers here about when you first arrived, we had you come in and sit in a chair not different than the one you are now to talk about what you hoped would happen here. At the heart of all education is the learning community on campus, the staff, the teachers, and the support staff that's there. What are some of the things you learned about the people at Virginia Western upon your arrival?
One thing I learned way back, even before I went to Virginia Western, you're only as good as the people around you. So it's critical to have a good faculty, a good staff, and develop relationships, not just with them, but also with the community. I mean, the community college, that's the key. We need to have good relationships with them. And then what we did was we went and talked to individuals and the faculty and staff. We learned about what their needs were, what they could see as maybe more things that the college could be doing, and ways that we could improve, and also what were some of the things or some of the faults that we needed to address. And you can't go in anywhere without thinking everything's not going to always be rosy. You're going to have to look at some of the ups and downs of what the college has. So we work with our faculty and staff. We work with community people, industry people who told us what they wanted us to be doing more of and how we could develop those programs. So once we knew what they really wanted, then you got to get a faculty and staff to buy into that to be able to develop the programs to meet those definitive needs. Yeah,
that change is always difficult when someone leaves and someone new comes in, and there's always a lot of uncertainty. In an article in Roanoke Times this week, you referred to the fact that you saw Virginia Western upon your arrival as kind of a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
And what did you mean by that?
Well, no question, Virginia Western was a sleeping giant, and I learned from many people, we were the best kept secret in Roanoke. And then I finally said to my wife, Jane, one day, wait a minute, being the best kept secret is not a compliment. I don't want to be the best kept secret. So we had to start developing these relationships with people. We had to let people know what Virginia Western was all about, what we needed to do to be a better college. How could we respond to better, not just to the industry base, but also to our four-year transfer institutions and to our K-12 high schools. We had to do a better job of communications, and as they say in communications, it's always good to listen. So we listened. That first year, you don't want to be a bull in the china shop. You want to learn, you want to listen, and then you can react from that once you learn. So we had to set a plan in action, and once the plan was set in place, then we had to implement that plan. And, the proof in the pudding is what you do with it. And so over these last 23 years, we've done a lot of good things, some blips along the way, and that's part of it. But overall, we've done some really dynamic things with a dynamic faculty and staff and a great bunch of adjunct instructors who come in from the real world. I call them the real world, the folks out there in business and industry and so forth who come in and can kind of relate what it's really like out there for a lot of our students.
I think that's so important. And you mentioned the changes at the college, but at the same time, since your arrival, the Valley has changed a lot too, right? And we need people to understand, we might just remind people what region you cover, but also let's think about how things have changed in terms of what jobs people take, what jobs aren't available anymore, and all of that.
Exactly. I mean, I hope people realize Roanoke is a healthcare-driven community. And Roanoke is also an advanced manufacturing community. But today, it's actually more biotechnical with the Biomedical Institute and so forth. And so it's really a compilation of 3 or 4 different things. And we've had to address all of those with our students. And it's so the community has changed. We're looking to bring in more talent to our community. But to bring in talent, you got to keep them here. And to keep them here, you got to have good jobs. You got to have a good region. We got the outdoors. We got the things that bring folks in here. But then you got to have an industry base or a work base that keeps people in the region. And you got to have educational institutions that work together. And that's why we work with Roanoke College. We work with Radford. We work with Hollins. Tech and Radford. We have synergy. We all have our niches. And we're all trying to respond to all of these various needs. If we want to have a talent base, we got to offer them every aspect of what they may be interested in. We just started a program with Radford and Roanoke College, which is called a 2+2, in which they will take our students as freshmen, and they're automatically already enrolled in their college as freshmen. They can go through our college in 2 years and just go seamlessly straight into.
So it's not the same thing as where, you go to community college for 2 years and then you pick which higher ed institution, university you're going to go.
Yeah, you can do it that way, but these make it even easier. These already set up everything for you. Our largest transfer institution is Virginia Tech and Radford. And at those, Virginia Tech, you have to make a certain GPA from us to go into there. But you can come to Virginia Western and take engineering. We got electrical, mechanical, and Virginia Tech is a world-class engineering college, and you can come to Western for 2 years, make a certain GPA, transfer straight from Western straight into into that college, and our students do exceedingly well.
And that also, it's not all about cost, but since you've been president, the cost of higher ed has skyrocketed. We sent 2 kids through college, even with state schools, and it was
no question.
It was tricky. And talk about that a little bit. What the value of the community colleges?
The community colleges, we're based in Virginia, in the Virginia Community College system. That our tuition will always be 1/3 of what the 4-year public colleges charge for their tuition. So if they're charging $150 a credit hour, we will be charging $50. If they're charging $300. We're charging $100. And that's kind of, that's what we do, working with the public colleges. And then a lot of our other programs, our workforce programs or our non-credit programs vary in price and so forth. But I've learned very quickly, price and money is a tremendous issue. And don't think today that it is not. So many good students lose their way because of money. And so we worked hard to make every aspect of scholarships and all available to students so that they can have that opportunity. We are an access institution, access and opportunity. But if you have access, but the students don't have the money to pay, even though a lesser tuition, then their hopes and dreams go down the drain.
And I know you guys you particularly, but also the foundation. I want to talk about that a little bit. It's different because I know that, often universities, colleges have foundations. Yeah. And they raise millions of dollars, and those may go to pet projects of the president or donors. Tell me what's different about the Virginia Western.
What's different about Virginia Western is our foundation is basically a scholarship foundation. In other words, we raise money to give scholarships to students. And we started a CCAP, Community College Access Program, about 15 years ago. And what that says, if students make a certain GPA in their particular schools and graduate, and that's the key, they got to graduate, they can, and don't have the resources to go to college, we will help them go to school. And it's only grown every year. They first use their Pell Grant first, and whatever it's still left over, the CCAP will pay for that. So you got students. I had one superintendent tell me, Tom.
Superintendent of public schools.
Public schools tell me, he said, I have parents tell me, we never dreamed our kid would even go to a college. That was just not in our plan of action. But once the scholarships became available, then their children have an opportunity to go to college, the community college, and they can go and take programs to get them right into the workforce. They can study hard and get in these transfer programs and transfer. So if the student has initiative and they want to work hard, the opportunities are right here in Roanoke with the community college and our other colleges to take advantage of these educational opportunities.
And we've talked about CCAP right here.
Yeah.
And also about the ACE program that New River
has, right.
And you guys you have been a little bit of a leader on that.
Yeah, we were the leader in CCAP. Actually, that came together with a number of industry people sitting together and community leaders. What is it we can do with the foundation to make a real difference? I mean, they were trying to what is it we can do? And they came up with this CCAP idea of providing scholarships. And we started it with Salem, city of Salem, because Salem only had one high school. So we knew we wouldn't have that much to spend if we only had one high school. So we started with Forrest Jones Sr. He was the city administrator there. And Forrest bought right into it. And we started a program at Salem for Salem High School. And I would think that first, we probably get 30, 40, we probably got 50% of their students taking advantage of that. And as Forrest Jones Sr. would say, he said, Salem is a blue-collar community. I mean, people don't think that, but it's a blue-collar community. And a lot of their folks needed opportunities to go to school. And they took full advantage of this CCAP program. And the way CCAP works is, our foundation will pay half of it if the municipality pays the other half. So if Salem has 100 students who want to come, and whatever say the price tag is $300,000, city would pay $150,000, we would pay $150,000, and that pays for those scholarships. And the beauty of asking for CCAP is we go to these folks and ask for money, but we're going to pay half of it. Most people ask for money and they want all of it. We ask for money and say, we will pay up front one half if you match it. And most supervisors or council members, if they know they got students who want to go to school, they don't want to deny those parents the opportunity to give those scholarships.
Well, and also when you're raising money for your side of it, it's probably the business leaders are much more inclined and individuals to give you money knowing that they're not just handing it out.
They're just not handing it out, and they want a workforce. I mean, these industries, it's you could say this is all selfishly motivated, but it's just motivated in the right way. We want to get people going to school to get education. Industry wants people to graduate to come to work. They're looking for a trained workforce, an educated workforce. And I was at a function yesterday, and the guy from the chamber for the state chamber, he said the number one issue for any community to get any type of industry or business is talent and workforce. They will come to your region if they know there's a talented workforce there that they can hire.
Right. Hard to recruit a company if they don't think they're going to be able to fill the positions.
Nope.
And I want to talk about that flexibility that you guys have shown that I think four-year institutions have a little more difficulty for a variety of reasons. Right. Things like your mechatronics program and other the healthcare careers as we have a growing medical facility, but also medical school here now. So what is the secret sauce of that has allowed you to really, I've seen things turn around pretty quickly where I'll read it's coming or you're talking about it, and then the next year you're enrolling students sometimes.
I know that healthcare is one of those things. We now have 9 healthcare programs, 9. We just have as many as Northern Virginia and Tidewater, the 2 largest colleges in the VCCS, out in the big metropolitan areas. We have as many programs as they do. all of our programs are full. All of them have waiting lists, and all of them have high-paying jobs waiting on them. But all of those programs came about from what you just said. Hospitals, nursing facilities, doctors, and all, they said, we need more people in these areas. So you need to have programs to be able to respond to that. The dentist came to us, so we started a dental hygiene program. They needed dental technicians. They needed the people who could do dental. Yeah, and so it's and we did that, and they're all full, and all these programs, they have to take a national exam, so they have to be good and smart, and our program has a tremendous passage rate of all these national exams. A dental hygienist is what I was trying to say a minute ago.
Yeah, no, you got it. That's good.
Got it. Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this, but I want you to talk about your students for a little bit. Is there a typical Virginia Western student? And I know the answer to that question, but talk about your students and how they've been inspirational to you as you've led the institution.
Yeah, one of the things I always like to say is I like going to work on Mondays. Most people say, why do you like going to work on Mondays? Because we're making a difference in people's lives. And the key part of that is we're offering opportunities to these students to take programs that can help them move forward in life, get a good middle-class job, be able to support their families and do the things they want to do. And our average age is not 18 or 19. Our average age can be 23, 24, 25. I always like to say, Tom, we have students from 18 to 80. We got a variety of students. I got 500 veterans there. I got veterans. I've got, you name it. We got every diversity of people, and that makes it really great to have a diversified a student body, because you got older students sitting with younger students sometimes. They're learning from the younger students are learning from the older students, and they get to develop a mutual respect for each other because they see they're all working hard to
Which is something you're going to need in the workplace, right? That 20-year-old, when they come out of Virginia Western, is going to be put into a workplace with 50-year-olds. You have to be able to communicate.
That's right. You got to be able to communicate. You have to be able to have mutual respect for each other and understand kind of the different thinking sometimes that goes about with different age groups. So it works well.
I think one thing that we don't think about a lot, but I've witnessed several times, is what the institution has been able to do for people who come here from other countries, may not speak the language at first, but they may have been professional people where they came from. But they're certainly ambitious.
No question.
How has Virginia Western embraced that? And because I know there are a lot of extra services for those folks as well.
We do. We have a lot of English as second language programs. We work hard with the K-12 if they have folks that have language barriers or whatever. The language barrier is always the number one, quote, negative. I mean, and another negative we had from way back was the bus service would never come after 7 o'clock. And a lot of folks 80% of our students work, so a lot of these folks from foreign countries or whatever, they were working. And they wanted to take these English as second language courses, and they had to get on the bus to get here. But then the bus didn't pick them back up to get them back. So we work with the bus companies, and we started offering free bus service and so forth. So we try to do everything we can to respond to whether they're foreign students or whatever they are, to make them feel comfortable, but also to give them the we call it support services to be able to help them survive. Our students run into an issue called life. It's life. The car doesn't work today. I got children to take care of. I don't have enough money to do this or do that, and life gets in the way, and they may be very capable academically, but they don't have the means to get there or do that. So part of the foundation offers emergency services too to help students.
I know that at different levels, we were both school administrators at the time of the pandemic, right? It's now a little farther in the rearview mirror than it was, but and so we can start talking about things that came out of that that maybe weren't horrible, right? On that day, March 13th, when the word came down from the governor, what were your immediate thoughts, and talk about how the institution responded to that?
Well, when COVID hit, we were on spring break, so all our students were gone, our faculty was gone, and then COVID hit and everything stopped. But we had pre-planned to have we had mechanisms in place that we could do online work and we had the capacity to offer these programs already in place. So we didn't skip a beat. Our faculty jumped right into this, and we offered all our same courses, everything online. We had to work on that. Of course, it was difficult for some students to be able to get online because some of our students didn't have online capacity. Today, even some don't, but then didn't. Some of our students had to come park in our parking lots to get the services to be able to hook up to the Wi-Fi. They couldn't do it from the rural areas because we are surrounded by rural counties, and so COVID hit us and hit nationally. It had our enrollment. It hit students being able to grasp being on your own to be online work, but they picked it up. They picked it up, and you're a scholar of online and work and so forth. It's really a great and today we still have 50% of our students still online because they love online work. So you go by a parking lot, sometimes people say, well, you're not full. That's because half my students are still online. They're still online.
Right. How did that, the courses that are hands-on, because you do welding and dental hygienists and all of that.
They couldn't be online.
Right.
All the lab courses had to be face-to-face. And all our nursing courses. So a large component had to be face-to-face. But a lot of the, teacher-student action type programs, they could do it online and so forth. But all the face-to-face, all the engineering and all the mechatronics and all the courses like that and all the health programs, they had to be face-to-face.
I think it kind of forced all educational institutions, public schools, K-8 schools, to come to terms, like recognize where they were on the spectrum of being ready for online learning. Yeah. And also it introduced this idea of the non-voluntary online learner. Not everybody's set out to do it.
Everybody's not set up to do it. Right? And some students, it was just not their thing. It didn't work.
Right.
And some students got behind. But a lot of students got right into it and have done very well.
I know that you would rather shine a light on your staff and your students and everything. We've talked about a lot of the highlights, but, to you, what are some of the things that as you enter your last year of running the college that you're the most proud of?
Well, I am obviously proud of our people, but I'm proud that Virginia Western is a financially stable college. We are financially in excellent shape, and coming out of the pandemic, we have survived all of that. We're very stable. Number two, I'm very proud of that we just did our 10-year reaffirmation, which was with our Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, and we passed that without one single recommendation. And I would say only 5% of the colleges in the nation, 2-year and 4-year, don't get any recommendations. We got no recommendations. I'm also proud that we've invested over almost $140 million in our facilities over the last 20 years. We feel we have the best facilities and equipment in the system, and we're very proud of that. And then the relationships of this community from what they were 25 years ago is completely different as far as the people thoughts about a community college. Do they do quality work? Do they do the things they need to do to be a real college? We lived through that, okay? And we worked hard to develop that reputation that we can do quality work. We can do work that transfers to 4-year college. We do step forward, and we do go to that next level. But that's taken time and effort to develop those. People have long memories to make it work.
Right.
Yeah.
We still have a few minutes left, but
okay.
One of the things that a president has to do that I'm sure is probably not your favorite thing to do, but, there is a political element to this, and in recent years, maybe even increasing one.
Yeah.
How have you navigated your relationship with Richmond, with various organizations you have to please, and the governor?
Well, we've had a good, stable political base in the Roanoke region. Roanoke, Blacksburg, Roanoke, New River Valley. We've had a good, stable relationship. We've had some of our politicians who are bipartisan, so they do work together. A lot of politicians don't work together. But ours have worked together when it came to the community college, everybody was in lockstep, okay?
I can see that, how the community college actually is something that's a little less partisan.
Yeah,
possibly. You don't get attacked for being ivory tower.
Yeah, we don't get attacked for that. But they're all demanding on us for workforce. They're all demanding on us. They all get this feedback. There are a lot of skilled jobs out there not being filled. And Sandel, what are you doing about it? What are you putting in place to fulfill these needs? Because when I go out to my constituency, all I hear is there's still a lot of jobs that our company can't fill and so forth and so on. So the pressure on us is a good pressure because it says, let's do more. Let's put more people out.
And they're looking at you as somebody who
can make it happen.
Do that. I know it's early to even think about a successor. What advice will you give that person? Because I know that you're going to stick around. And
I'm going to stick around. I would think that in Virginia, we'll probably have 3 to 5 of our other college presidents apply to this one. And we'll probably have a couple of hundred applicants. For the Virginia Western and the Roanoke region, there's a quality job, okay? I mean, people are going to look for this one. They're going to jump at this one. Whoever they are, they need to be a creative person who knows how to work a foundation and knows how to raise some money, also knows how to develop relationships within our community, and who can take the word forward about the value of what a community college education is all about.
Sure. Well, we could talk for a long time, but we're out of time.
Yeah.
And as we close the program, I'd like to add my personal congratulations to you, Bobby, for
thank you very much.
Your retirement, and to thank you for years of partnership with us here at Blue Ridge PBS. For What It Takes, I'm Tom Landon.